Imagine giving your all to someone, your time, your emotions, your loyalty, only to realize at the end of it all, money mattered more than love. Painful, right? But that's exactly what happened to me. She left me, not because I didn't love her enough, not because I mistreated her, but because someone else had more money. At first, I couldn't even process it. I kept asking myself, was I not enough? Did all those memories, all those moments mean nothing? But slowly the truth hit me. For her, love wasn't about loyalty or emotions. It was about status, lifestyle, and material things. And today I want to share this story with you, not just to talk about heartbreak, but to talk about what betrayal teaches us, about love, about people, and most importantly, about ourselves. If you've ever been betrayed, if you've ever been replaced, overlooked, or left behind for someone who simply had more than you, you're going to relate deeply to what I'm about to say. And by the end of this video, I promise you, you'll see heartbreak from a new perspective. Because sometimes being left behind is the biggest blessing in disguise. So let me take you back to the beginning, to when everything felt perfect, before I realized her love was never really for me, but for what she thought I could give. You know, it's crazy how love stories start, sometimes in the most unexpected places. For me, it all began when I met her. We didn't meet in some fancy way. No, it was simple. We got connected through mutual friends, social media, workplace. You can choose what fits best for your channel's vibe. At first, it was just casual conversations, nothing too deep, but slowly, something clicked. I still remember those early days. The little things. She'd send me a random text in the middle of the day, just to ask, "Did you eat?" Or when she smiled at me, it felt like the world stopped for a second. And you know how it is, right? That excitement when you're falling for someone. When even the smallest gestures feel like the biggest gifts. What got me the most was, she made me believe she loved me for me. Not for what I had, not for what I could give her, but for who I was. I didn't have a lot, no luxury car, no big bank balance, none of that. But whenever I was with her, it felt like none of it mattered. We'd sit for hours, talking about our dreams, our future, and she'd tell me how lucky she was to have someone who cared for her so deeply. And in those moments, I thought, yeah, this is real. This is love. You know that feeling when you finally think, I found my person. That's exactly how I felt. I wasn't looking at anyone else. I wasn't distracted. I wasn't doubting. For me, she was it. And honestly, in those early days, I was happy, truly happy. But here's the thing. Sometimes, when something feels too good to be true, it probably is. At first, everything felt perfect. But slowly, little things started to change. She began comparing me with others. Comments like, "He just bought his girlfriend an iPhone," or, "Why don't we go to expensive restaurants like they do?" At first, I brushed it off. I told myself, love is enough. She loves me, not my money. So I ignored the signs. Meanwhile, I was doing everything I could to make her happy, within my means. Small surprises, late night calls, little acts of care. But deep down, those red flags were growing louder. You know, in the beginning, I thought she was my forever. But slowly, things started to change. At first, it was small. She didn't reply to my texts as quickly as before. Where she once used to call me just to say I miss you, now, hours would pass and I'd be staring at my phone, waiting. I told myself, maybe she's busy, maybe it's just a phase. But then I noticed more. Whenever we met, her energy wasn't the same. The girl who used to laugh at my silly jokes now barely smiled. She used to tell me everything about her day, but now her stories were replaced with silence. And then came the social media changes. She started dressing differently, putting more effort into her looks, posting more selfies, more stories. At first, I was happy. I thought, she's just feeling more confident. But deep down, something felt off. Because those posts weren't for me, they were for someone else. I began to notice her phone habits too. She'd smile while texting, but when I asked who's that, she'd just say, "Oh, just a friend." And you know what hurts the most? That gut feeling you get when you know the truth, but you're too scared to admit it. One night, I finally gathered the courage to confront her. I asked, "Is there someone else?" At first, she denied it. She got defensive, saying I was overthinking. But I already knew. I had seen the signs, the late replies, the distance. The way she lit up when someone else texted her. And then, the truth slipped. She said those words I'll never forget. "You deserve better. You're a good guy, but I think I need something else." My heart sank, because while she was saying "you deserve better," she had already chosen someone else. Someone with more money, someone with a better car, someone who could give her the lifestyle she thought she wanted. And there I was, standing there, empty, after giving her my time. I wasn't enough. You know what's crazy? She didn't even leave me because of something I did wrong. She left me because of who I wasn't. I wasn't rich enough. I wasn't flashy enough. I wasn't her Instagram boyfriend material. That night I realized, love isn't always about love. Sometimes it's about status. Sometimes it's about image. And sometimes, people will use your heart just to heal theirs, or to make their ex jealous, until they find something better. And that was the change. The girl who once made me feel like I was her whole world was now someone else's story. The day she left still feels heavy in your chest. It wasn't just the end of a relationship. It was the end of all the dreams you built in your mind. All those late night talks, all the future plans, all the sacrifices. You suddenly realized they meant nothing to her. When she walked away, it felt like a piece of you was ripped out. You replayed the moment over and over again, searching for clues. What did I do wrong? Was I not enough? Was my love too small? Or was it simply because I couldn't give her the lifestyle she wanted? The nights after the breakup were the hardest. You stared at the ceiling, heart racing, mind drowning in memories. Every laugh, every hug, every promise, it all turned into sharp reminders of betrayal. Sleep wouldn't come easy, because the questions were louder than the silence. Then the realization hit. It was never about love. It was never about who you were, or the depth of your heart. To her, it was about comparison, about showing off, about lifestyle. And no matter how much love you poured in, it was never going to be enough. And that truth hurt. But at the same time, it set you free. Because you understood one thing. Your worth was never tied to what you could buy, or where you could take her. Your worth was in how you love, how you care, and how you show up for someone. She failed to see that, but that's her loss. So you decided not to beg, not to chase, not to fight for someone who already made their choice. You chose to walk away with your dignity. And that was the moment the pain started turning into strength. When she left, it felt like my entire world collapsed. But slowly, I realized something. Her leaving wasn't the end of me. It was the beginning of a stronger version of me. Betrayal cuts deep, but it also teaches the most powerful lessons. It showed me the importance of self-respect. If someone cannot see your value, that doesn't make you less. It just means they were never meant for you. I stopped chasing answers, stopped replaying the why me in my head. Instead, I started focusing on myself, my goals, my health, my peace. Because in the end, nothing hurts more than losing yourself, trying to keep someone who was never truly yours. To anyone watching this, remember this. Don't measure your worth by someone who can't see your value. The right person won't make you beg for love, attention, or respect. Yes, the pain was real, but so was the growth. Now, I see that betrayal wasn't a punishment. It was redirection. A way of clearing space for something better. For someone genuine. For a love that won't need conditions. So if you're hurting right now, hold on. Don't let heartbreak define you. Let it refine you. Because better things are waiting, and this pain will one day just be a chapter in your story, not the ending.